So, alright, game number 5 of our Bronze to Masters series for Terran. We are currently in Silver League. We just got promoted. It's going to be a Terran versus Zerg on the map that is Whirlwind, corresponding in the top right position as your blue. Incredibly attractive hero Terran is Nathanias. And spawning somewhere on the map is going to be someone who's not so fortunate in their genetic makeup. But this game, I mean, we've gone into the same setup from all of these other builds that we've done. But what if I don't want to open Command Center first? What if I don't want to open with Hellions? Well, I think there are a couple of other options for how we can do this sort of economic opening with a bit of pressure. So what we're going to do this game is going to be, let's do a 2 barracks expand. So let's say you're the kind of guy that worries a lot about getting hit with fast Zerglings, or if you're worried about getting hit with really, really fast aggression. So this is a pretty large map. It's not quite the map that you would expect aggression on, so this is one of the reasons why it can be a bit more effective. And the other thing that you can also do is if you're running into issues of being hit with anything like really, really fast Zerglings, it's really easy to defend because you can get bunkers very quickly. You have a lot of early marine production. So at 14 supply, we're going to send down a second SCV. And for the purposes of this Bronze to Masters, I'm not going to really cheese this guy. I'm just going to show you how to do it. If you're not comfortable doing a 1 barracks fast expand or a command center first, then this build will keep you pretty safe against anything that a Zerg can throw at you. So I'm still going to go scout now after I start this barracks. It's basically 10 supply depot, 12 barracks, 14 barracks, and we're going to get our orbital command at 15 supply. So orbital starts, begin first marine, and I'm going to let this SCV chill over here and build a supply depot to wall us off. So the way that the 2 barracks fast expand works is it gives you an option to go for a lot of pressure. It also gives you an option to go for a lot of defense if you need it. So I have my Marines rally to the front of my natural expansion because I am looking to expand. I'm not trying to be very, very sneaky with this. Checking for expansions from the Zerg player. Orbital's complete, Mule dropped. Supply depot will complete very soon as well. And basically the way that the supply timing for the expansion times out is if you're constantly producing Marines, you can build your command center at about 24 supplies. So SCV continuing to scout, and we don't know what he has, but he actually is going to be moving in with some Zerglings. So what I'm going to do is try to just wall myself in here. I have good Marine production, and I'm going to rally my Marines inside of my base. So the cool thing about the 2 racks build is that even though he's going for this aggression, I have a lot of Marine production available to me. So I'm going to go repair these supply depots, and now that I have been pressured quite a bit, I'm going to build my command center in my main base just to be super safe. So the proper follow-up to this, of course, is very often going to be just to add on gas and go for Hellions, but we're going to stick with this bio style. So my opponent pretty much 6-pooled me is what it looks like with a low drone count, or another 8-pool. We have more Zerglings on the way. So the cool thing, of course, like I said about this 2 racks, is that we have really good capabilities. He's going to take a gas, but I'm going to build a supply depot. I'm going to get up a 3rd barracks, and we're going to do that same super standard bio transition. So now we have a good number of Marines, and he's not going to really be able to contain us with Zerglings because we have the 2 racks production. So now going to get a teeny bit supply block because of the little bit of microing that he forced us to do, but it's not a huge deal. We're still totally fine. We have plenty of Marines on the field, and now to follow this up, we can take our gas geysers. I don't want to take the gas with an SCV that has minerals in its hand because you don't want to lose them. But now I have a lot of Marines. I'm not really scared of Zerglings anymore. I'm just going to run out into my natural expansion and force him away if he has any units still here. So it doesn't look like he does. So there are a couple of things that he can do, and that's Roaches, Banelings, or anything else follow-up. So I'm going to do a very, very super safe transition from this. So you guys, this is something, if you are worried about your opponent doing something absolutely crazy, this is what you need to do, basically, and you can be super safe. Basically just going for triple bunker in your natural expansion to wall it off. This will keep you safe against roach play. You want to have them spread out enough that banelings can't hit them. Currently, like if a baneling was right where this marine is, it could technically hit all of the 2 of the bunkers. So That's why we have a third one spread out as well. And now, just continuing to put out Marines. So we have a very, very safe transition set up. We're just going to split the Marines off between these bunkers so that he can't put on any kind of extreme pressure. And now he's moving in with additional Zerglings, but there's not too much he can do. I'm going to wall this off so that he can't just run the Zerglings by and try to get inside my base. So Marines go on the retreat, but from what you've seen in all the other games, it's just going to be that super standard bio follow-up. We're going to get the factory, going to go for that stim pack upgrade, and, well, we're going to eventually move into Widowmine bio, so not a huge deal. And whenever you hear, of course, you're going to get supply block, never be afraid to just throw in a supply drop, and he comes in with these Zerglings, but I have so many defenses set up, he can't really do much, so what I'm actually going to do now is just completely shove him away. I'm feeling very, very confident, very safe in terms of what he's sending towards me, but for the purposes of the Bronze to Master series, I am not just going to go kill this guy like I might in a later game, but we're going to macro this out, going to get our engineering bay, going to try to keep tabs. It's important to keep in mind, there's something that a lot of players don't do, and that's whenever you get hit with some kind of really, really fast aggression, a lot of players have a tendency to just default into something or try to force something, but it's really, really important to keep your transitions in mind. We want to go bio this game. We want to go with Widow Mines a bit later on, and we don't want to really get aggressive until we have stim. Why? That's our strongest point. So even though he went for this cheese, I might be able to counterattack and win, but what if he has banelings at home? What if he has some sort of trap set up? What if we can't do damage to him? Then we've wasted a lead that we had that was basically given to us for free by the decisions made from our opponents. So we are not going to do anything silly like that. We're going to get a third base now that we have defenses. Actually, we're going to get missile turrets first. So it's always important. You want to have your defenses set up before you ever do any kind of greedy play. So now the third command center starts. Factory, move over. We're going to start medevac production. We have just enough resources to actually begin that. So now first two medevacs are out, and now we can look to get a bit aggressive. Now we have enough infrastructure set up that if our opponent has banelings, we can micro away. We'll be able to stim and run from the banelings if we need to, and we'll also be able to run away from mutalisks or catch those too. So, and of course the medevacs allow us to run from anything that could catch us. So just a couple of things to keep in mind, guys. Now, we do have that +1 attack about to finish, so what we're going to do is get our armory together and another engineering bay. This way we can get a 2-2 super fast. So upgrades are so important against Zerg, especially with units like Marines and Marauders. Now, stim is complete, so but instead of queuing up 2 additional medevacs, I want to get combat shield and additional gas geyser because I have all my barracks set up. So now we're just going to get all these Marines together, and it's very, very important. We're going to scan, make sure there's no weird traps laid behind us, and we might scan again when we reach our opponent's main base and the tower, just to be super safe. But now reactor tech lab starting on these barracks. Continue to build supply depots. Remember that. I'm sending these units out to fight, but I'm not looking at them. I'm not keeping my eyes trained on my army because I'm looking at the mini-map. I know where my army is. I know if he runs out with any units to try to catch them, that I have enough time to respond. And it's something that you just naturally get good at the more you do it. But it's just important not to get caught up in the little things, because as long as you have your macro set back at home, there's no way he's going to be able to beat me. Even if he could kill all these Marines for free. And as long as I'm macroing better than him, when he tries to counterattack, I'll already have more units ready. So for safety's sake, what we're going to do is send one Marine to check each of the possible bases he could have as a third. So now I know, okay, no third base here. Let's see, is there a third base here? No. So now my orbital command is complete, but I'm going to build some units. I'm going to make sure I'm building SCVs, make sure I'm building Widow Mines, and now I'm going to scan. I'm going to see what he has. He doesn't have anything in his natural expansion. So the last thing to look at is going to be what's in his main. Another scan. He has a lot of banelings and roaches ready. So what are some things that I can do to deal with this? Well, I can split up my Marines preemptively, kill his creep tumor to deny him any vision, and then I can just run up a couple of Marines and just try to put on a little bit of pressure. So this is one of the reasons why it's so important to scan ahead of time. He has a lot of defenses prepared, but without any additional bases, I don't have too much to worry about. His banelings can't get good hits because of the spread on my bioforces, so if he's going to turtle like this, he can do that. That's fine. I have a huge economic lead. I have a huge army supply lead, and now I can also bring the Widow Mines over to put on additional pressure. So other things that could end up losing you games in Bronze League or Silver League is going to be ninja bases. So I'm going to run these Marines around. I'm basically just going to make sure he doesn't have any ninja bases hidden anywhere so that I can quite safely move up to take my additional economy, and that he doesn't get a huge lead just because I don't attack him So he has a bunch of roaches actually moving out from here. He's going to catch me in the center, so I'm just going to stim my forces and try to catch them. So it does look like he has a ninja base somewhere on the map. So what I'm going to do with these bioforces, I'm going to kill these off, and now I'm going to go looking for ninja bases. So this is one of the reasons why it's so important to try to be aware of things that are happening on the map when you're playing StarCraft 2. So now moving up, and let's see, where is the base? Okay, it's in the bottom right. Well, thankfully, I have another force of Marine Marauder prepared. They're going to be able to deal with this. I scan. He still has a lot of Banelings, but the Widow Mines are good versus Banelings, so I'm going to bring those up and just sort of park them on his ramp. He's not going to be able to get away with this. I'm scanning to see if he has any more hidden bases. It doesn't look like it, so now I've scouted every base. I know what he has. I'm feeling very, very comfortable in terms of dealing with whatever it is that he can throw at me at this point, because of how much he's invested into this early pressure, into this early army and economy. So now I'm just feeling really good. So what I'm going to do now, send him some medevacs to go for drops. I still have my defenses set up at home, so I'm not even worried about any kind of possible counterattack. Make sure there's no creep here. I'm taking this as cookie cutter slow as possible. So now he has the Banelings at the top of the ramp, and at this point, with my bioforces, I can just bait him into attacking into me. Not really any threat at all. So let's just do that. I want to draw his Banelings over, and basically just let the Widow Mines do their dirty work. All the Banelings are gone. Terran is overpowered. Your opponent QQs, and you collect your ladder points. So I focus down the Banelings to make sure they can't get me, and at this point, there's no losing this game. GG, guys. So that methodically surviving the cheese and transitioning out of it. So I do want to take a couple of things into account, though. If you guys paid very close attention to when I first approached his main base, I scanned the main base, and you guys see all those Banelings. Think about it this way. If you run straight up into your opponent's, if I ran straight up my opponent's ramp and had absolutely nothing there, those Banelings could have immediately just killed all of my Marines basically for free. He had a perfect setup to catch me. He had the ninja base so that he was going to be able to set up good defenses, but I was able to take advantage of that just by using good positioning and then bringing the Widow Mines and baiting him forward into them. So it's very, very important. If you survive any kind of early aggression from your opponent, don't try to force your hand. You have a lead. If my opponent 6 pools, let's look at the build order this game. My opponent this game went for a 10 pool. So he sacrificed economy to get army, but we opened with a 2 racks expand. So that gave us a really good defensive posture while also being able to be economical because we didn't cut workers like him. So the lesson to be taken from this is we didn't try to force our hand. If we had forced our hand, he had Banelings, he could have killed us and possibly won the game with a counterattack. But we took our advantage, which was economy, and we expanded upon it. We continued to make SCVs. We got our upgrades, we got our tech, we got stim, combat shield, medevacs, marauders were added in, we got the Widow Mines, and then we were able to take a very easy win. It didn't have to be a scrappy, close game at all. So that was game number 5 of our Bronze to Masters series.